Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another Super Eagles edition of Sports Fellas Daily Updates. We'll be checking out some interesting and exciting updates from the camp of our very own Super Eagles as we are joined up for our quarterfinal game of the 2025 AFCON tournament against the Desert Forces of Algeria. And alhamdulillah, Algeria will fall on Saturday. Before I proceed with the details of the stories coming up, quickly, let's do it together. If you are new on this platform, subscribe to the channel, hit on the post notification bell for more updates. Show love to our very own Super Eagles and the 2025 AFCON tournament by liking this video and sharing to other social media platforms. As usual, my name is Solomon Kweku Asante, your only nomenclature with the engineer's philosophy in sports, a Ghanaian who has declared his full support for Nigeria sports with the Nigerian name, the only one, Solomon Chukwu Emeka. Please do well to leave your decent comment in the comment box for special shoutouts in my subsequent videos. And no more straightforward, let's get into the video and start from the camp of our very own Super Eagles as we are joined up for our quarterfinal match of the 2025 AFCON tournament against the Desert Forces of Algeria, God willing, on Saturday, the 10th of January 2026, exactly 4 p.m. Ghana time, 5 p.m. Nigeria time, at the Stade Marrakech in Marrakech. And these are the extensive details coming in from the camp of our very own Super Eagles. The first part is that the team has departed first. First is the northern inland Morocco to Marrakech, that is the southern inland Morocco. I've already given you out the distance and the time to be covered. They are going to cover a distance of around 385 kilometers, and with the time going with flight, they'll be spending close to 2 hours, depending on their check-ins and transits. When they get to Marrakech, they will move on to a district called Wahad Sidi Ibrahim. This is where the Stade Marrakech is located. And let's enjoy some of the videos as the team departed first to Marrakech. So this is the first latest coming in from the camp of our very own Super Eagles. Well, the second updates coming in is that all the internal issues within the Super Eagles team have been resolved at this moment, and the team is fully focused on their quarterfinal game against Algeria. We don't have any lingering resentment among the teammates in camp. Same as all bonuses have been paid. Yesterday, I reported to you that all their bonuses have been approved and paid, but yet to be reflected in their domiciliary accounts. And God willing, by the close of the week, they'll get notification that the amounts of which their bonus has been reflected in their various accounts. So this is the latest updates surrounding the Super Eagles of Nigeria ahead of our quarterfinal clash against Algeria. Still in the camp of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, let me shift my focus to former players of the Super Eagles. Starting with is a camp of former defender of the Super Eagles, Celestine Babayaro. This is the time he has picked 5 Super Eagles players who so far have impressed him in the 2025 AFCON tournament. And he chose Ademola Lookman to be the first. The second player is Alex Iwobi. The third player is Jerome Akko Adams. The fourth one is Wilfred Ndidi, who is having one of the exciting moments of his career with the Super Eagles in this AFCON tournament. Same as ending everything on Calvin Bassey. And he didn't just take a reflection of the bust-up that happened in our round of 16 game against Mozambique. He excluded Victor Osimhen. I don't know whether you side with whatever decision per the announcement that he made with these 5 players. Let me quickly go through his words per how he said it concerning the players he chose. He started with these words. Well, as good as Osimhen has been in the tournaments, you won't say he is among our best 5 players so far. To me, I don't think he is, and that is not a reaction to the bust up with Ademola Lookman the other day. So he's not taking a reference to what happened the last time by excluding Victor Osimhen. He ended up with these words: if I am to pick the 5 best players so far, I will go for Lukman as the number 1, Alex Iwobi as my number 2, Jerome Akko Adams, the boy from Sevilla, will be third. Wilfred Ndidi is having his best tournament so far, and he'll go in as number 4. And finally, Kevin Bassey is Trojan at the back. These are the words of former Super Eagles defender Celestine Baba Yaro. Lest I forget, yesterday was Monsieur Eric Sequichel, 1 year in charge as the head coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So far, so good. Competitively, he has played 16 games or supervised 16 games for the Super Eagles. He has won 10 games, drawn 5 games, and had 1 loss. And so far, he has scored 34 goals and conceded 15 goals. So these are some of the exciting revelations coming in with the successes of the Super Eagles. Talking of the head coach of the team, Monsieur Eric Sequichel. Away from his camp and still in the camp of the former players of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, let me talk about the legendary John Mikel Obi on Mikel Obi podcast or Obi-Wan podcast. He has also waded into the rifts that's happened between Victor Osimhen and his teammates. And this is the time he has spoke out and he said the part that he didn't like was Victor Osimhen, after everything or after the incident or bust up on the field of play, he stopped playing. He stopped running, and even after he has been substituted, he just went straight into the dressing room. He didn't like that aspect of Victor Osimhen. But Victor Osimhen, to be frank, he is a humble guy. He is very, very nice guy, and he fights like a lion. Let's enjoy these brief words from John Mikel Obi on Obi-Wan podcast. I will be back with special shout-outs as I'll be out on this updates.
He's a humble kid. He's a very nice kid. But he plays the way he plays. And I don't want to see that taken away from him, the way he plays, the way he fights on the pitch, the aggressivity that he has on the pitch, the warriorness he has on the pitch, that he fights like a lion. I like to see that. I want him to keep that. Don't take that away from Victor. You take that away from Victor, you don't get the best out of him. But you have to control him. You have to manage him. He knows. He's the first to say, you know what? The part that I didn't like about the whole situation is the afters. The afters that he stopped playing, he stopped running and making effort. That part I don't like. I'll be the first to tell him. He knows. If he knows and he will look back and say, you know what? Okay, that part, maybe I crossed the line. The part where he stood up after the game and walked straight into the dressing room, that part, he will be the first to say, you know what, I fucked up. It's always about the team. It's always about the country. Nobody, make no mistake about that. Football club, national team, no single person is bigger than a football club or a national team. We all come and we all fucking go. The club, the national team remains. Jejo, Kocha, Kanu, myself, we all came, we all left. The national team is still there. The badge is still there. We have to respect it. And I know Victor respects the badge. He's a humble kid. He's given so much to the national team. And let's all not forget about everything that he's done and jump straight onto the negatives and say, oh, is this, is that, is this. Everybody straight away jumping and blaming and criticizing the kid. He's done so much for us. Absolutely so much. And he's still doing. He's a fantastic player. He's our main man. So, he knows that. The afters, I don't like. What happened after the whole incident, I don't like. But do I like to see that incident more and more? Players fighting on the pitch? I love to see that. But the afters, you have to shake hands and say, you know what?
It's done when it's in the dressing room.
It's done in the dressing room. Let's move on. Next game. There's so much to play for. There's so much we can achieve. Let this not distract us. Let this not be what pulls us down, because the last thing we want to see is our 2 best players in the team not talking to each other. Friction between both of them. All the players sitting around looking at both of them, not speaking to each other. That is what is going to pull us down. That is what is going to affect us. So the manager has to manage this. The manager needs to get on top of it pretty quickly. Make sure he sorts it out. And credit to Lookman, I must say, came out after the game and said, you know what? It's football. It happens. Victor is his brother. I like that from him. It shows maturity. And Victor also is a matured guy. And I'm sure they will sort this out, both of them, and then we move on from it because we have a massive game coming up. We have a massive game coming up. So the manager needs to make sure he finds a way of sorting this out because you don't want your two superstars, your two African Player of the Year winners to be fighting each other in the squad because that's what's going to pull us down and that's what's going to affect us and that's what's going to make us. That's what's going to, if we not win this, that's probably what's going to.
So these are the exact words coming in from our legendary John Mikel Obi. I don't know whether you side with his decision or his words surrounding the tantrum that's happened that night against Mozambique with respect to Victor Osimhen and his teammates. He has said his points as to what you think. The team is now fully focused on our quarterfinal game. And that is where you have to put every energy and efforts in the team and support them as we can do at this moment. In the course of this video editing, the team has finally touched down in Marrakech, and let's enjoy the team arrival in Marrakech. Before I take a leave of you, I was being supported by my hardworking chief editor, Emmanuel Kwame Asiedu, and my amazing graphic designer, Dominic. Let me give special shout out to these amazing commenters under my previous videos. Special shout out to Taiwo Akin today. I do appreciate your support. Special shout out to Aji Ola, I do appreciate your support. Special shout out to Arthur. I do appreciate your support, Arthur. Peter Osai, I do appreciate your support, Mr. Peter Osai. And special shout out to Helen Pupola. I do appreciate your support. Special shout out to Maruf Akbola. I do appreciate your support. Daniel Magaji, I do appreciate your support. Fellas, I do appreciate your support. Special shout out to Kola. I do appreciate your support. Kola 240S, I do appreciate your support, boss. And Toles Nelson, I do appreciate your support. Lucy, Allah Fukide, I do appreciate your support. Allah Fudike. And special shout out to Fellas Absalom Umar, I do appreciate your support, boss. Special shout out to Danaya Dennis, I do appreciate your support. And to other cherished commenters under my previous videos. And to the ones on this update, God richly bless us all. Subsequently, I'll add up all the shoutouts. Until we meet again on this platform, it still go Super Eagles, go Nigeria. Algeria will definitely come out to me for on Saturday, the 10th of January 2026, 4 p.m. Ghana time, 5 p.m. Nigeria time. I'm out, and it's bye-bye.